All right, Mr. Roker, thank you very much. He has changed his look more times than a chameleon, but over the years, one thing has remained constant. David Bowie has always made great music. And before he takes the stage here in the plaza, we thought we'd take a look back at his legendary career. David Bowie, the chameleon. For more than 3 decades, he's continued to reinvent himself and his music.
I said that time may change me. Ground control to Major Tom.
It was 1969 when Bowie launched his first alter ego, Major Tom.
Major Tom.
The song Space Oddity became an instant classic.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. So where were the spiders?
3 years later, Bowie introduced the gender-bending plastic rock and roll singer Ziggy Stardust and ushered in the glam rock era. After Ziggy, Bowie took on other personas. Aladdin Sane is a pun for Alad Insane. He slicked back his hair and wore elegant suits as the suave, thin white Duke for the 1975 album Young Americans. The song Fame, a collaboration with John Lennon, became Bowie's first #1 single in the U.S. Bowie also broke into the movies with a role in the 1976 film The Man Who Fell to Earth. The story of an alien provided the inspiration for the album Station to Station, which critics call one of Bowie's best.
I hear the sound of melody.
But during the mid-70s, Bowie struggled with drug abuse. He went to Berlin to recover and wound up collaborating with musical innovator Brian Eno on a trio of electronica albums.
Sometimes you get sunlight late. Sometimes you get nowhere.
Scary Monsters and Super Creeps was Bowie's first album of the 80s.
Ashes to ash and fun to fire.
After a 3-year layoff, Bowie released Let's Dance in 1983. Bowie set the pace for the MTV 80s, but the middle-of-the-road appeal of his music left him feeling as if he was compromising his creativity.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
There's some artists that should work for their publics, and indeed they do work for their public. I don't. I'm very selfish. Tend to write and work for me.
Bowie formed the alternative pre-grunge rock band Tin Machine in 1986, but in 1992, Bowie decided to revive his solo career. In April of that year, Bowie wed his second wife, former supermodel Iman. Black Tie, White Noise was released a year later. When he turned 50 in 1997, Bowie gave a sellout birthday concert at Madison Square Garden. On Tuesday, Bowie's 25th studio album was released. It's called Heathen. He says its themes are much the same as that of all of his music.
Utter misery. It seems to be something that I gravitate towards all the time.
I'm frightened by the total goal, drawing to the ragged hole, and I ain't got the power anymore. No, I ain't got the power anymore. I could fall asleep at night as a rock and roll star.
July the 3rd, 1973, the Hammersmith Odeon in London. David Bowie plays the part of Ziggy Stardust for the last time. Ziggy was Bowie's most celebrated role, a weird and fated rock star who was both a parody of the archetypal rock star and an extension of Bowie's own personality.
Now Ziggy played guitar jamming good with weird and giddy. And the spiders from Mars, well, they played that left hand, but it made it.
Ziggy became a spectacular success, and so ironically did his alter ego, David Bowie. And then at the height of his fame, in the presence of thousands of screaming fans, David Bowie killed him off.
Bye-bye, we love you.
This is the way I do cut-ups. I don't know if it's like the way Brian Geisen does his or Barrows does his, I don't know. But this is the way I do it. I've used this method only on a couple of actual songs. What I've used it for more than anything else is igniting anything that might be in my imagination. I mean, you can often come up with very interesting attitudes to look into. I tried doing it with diaries and things, and I was finding out amazing things about me and what I'd done and where I was going. And a lot of the things that I'd done, it seemed that it would predict things about the future or tell me a lot about the past. It's really quite an astonishing thing. I suppose it's a very Western tarot. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what happens.
I'm an alligator. Oh, mama, papa, calling for you. How was the space invader? I'll be a rock and roll.
I think we all feel the same way, don't we? I mean, it's pretty...
Music in general is an important part of all our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
We're big rock fans.
And Bowie, we thought was the best.
God.
He intentionally keeps himself a mystery.
Yeah, right.
Because he's always being somebody else on stage, or trying to be somebody else on stage. And he keeps his own personality a complete mystery, so it adds to the aura and makes him a more interesting person in public.
Watching him dash away, swinging an old bouquet, dead roses, sake and strange divine.
It was my initial fascination with mime and expressing things with facial movements and body talk rather than articulating things. I mean, I'd done as much articulating as I felt was necessary with the actual songs. And if I was going to present them in more than a single dimension, I mean, if I was going to present them visually, then I wanted my body or my muscles to play an active part in the performance